brothers and sisters could come forward, and brothers come forward, please. This should work us our way to Salat al-Isha. It will be the last lecture on how to defend yourself from fitnah.
Before I begin, inshallah, lecture, just one final question by one of the sisters that I just want to answer quickly. If I pay a buyer, she said, if I pay a buyer to buy me goods and show them the goods that I want, even though she has not got the goods on her, however, will travel to another country to purchase them, is this allowed? Now, so this type of transaction is impermissible. Why? Because you're purchasing, she is your wakil. So wakila, so she's your representative. And as we've mentioned, a representative, in order for the bay' or the shara or the transaction to be permissible, then they have to act for your benefit. Okay, so they have to act for your benefit only. And that means that they cannot charge you for this, or they cannot seek any increase or seek any benefit, whether financial or any other benefit, from the actual sil'a, from the actual purchase, from the actual transaction. If they are a broker, and they're basically you're brokering a deal for them, or she's brokering a deal for you, or purchasing something on your behalf, then you cannot give her any money unless until she's actually purchased that good for you. So you're paying for something that you're not aware of, you're not sure. So she's traveling, you're paying her money, and she's going to travel to another country. Those goods may not be in that country. What you're looking for may not be there, in which case you're paying for something that is mashkukun fihi. There's a doubt. There's a doubt as to whether what you're paying for is actually present. But what you can do is you can tell her that if she sees the sil'a or that particular product, and that inshallah ta'ala you look at the product and you may buy it or you may not buy it. So you can give her that option, but there cannot be any ilzam. She can't force you and say to you, okay, I'm going to purchase the product, are you going to buy it for me? Or are you going to purchase it from me? If she forces you to purchase, if she forces you to buy the product from her, through some whatever way she thinks of, then it becomes also impermissible. Allahu A'lam. Now, the next question is كيف يمكن لنا نعرف شياطين الإنس? How do we know who the shayateen from the ins are? The shayateen from the ins, Allah mentions two types of shayateen, shayateen al-insi and shayateen al-jinn. Shayateen al-insi wal-jinni, as Allah says, يُوحِي بَعْضُهُمْ إِلَى بَعْضٍ زُخْرُفَ الْقَوْلِ غُرُورًا زُخْرُفَ الْقَوْلِ غُرُورًا وَلَوْ شَاءَ رَبُّكَ مَا فَعَلُوهُ. So there are shayateen from the ins, from the son of Adam, and there are shayateen from the jinn, and each one of them يُوحِي بَعْضُهُمْ إِلَى بَعْضٍ. Each one of them inspires the other. زُخْرُفَ الْقَوْلِ, with beautiful statements, as a way of deception. So they're very simple. Shaitan al-ins is anyone who calls you to evil. Every single time you're with them, they call you to evil. If you want to go to the salah, they stop you from going to the salah. If you want to read the Quran, they stop you. How do they stop you? They don't specifically say, do not read the Quran or do not do this, but they always present something else for you to do. Okay, every time you want to do a ta'ah or come closer to Allah with a righteous action, they will present another type of action, which is either unrighteous or from the mubah and mubahat. So every time you're with this person, you feel that you are further away from Allah than you were before you met them, then you know that this person is from shayateen al-ins. If every time you're with them, you feel that you are closer to sinning than you are to ta'ah, then know that this person is min jalisus su. This person is an evil companion. This person is someone who is taking you closer to Jahannam. So hence, this is a way of knowing who the shayateen from the ins are. And we all know the trace of the shaitan. Allah said, وَلَا تَتَّبِعُوا خُطُوَاتِ الشَّيْطَانِ. Do not follow the footsteps of the shaitan. Because if you follow the footsteps of the shaitan it will inevitably lead you to Jahannam al-iyad billah. The next question is ماذا تقول عن من عمن تفوته عمن تفوته دائما صلاة الصبح وهل يهتم بها أو كما قال فهل نقول كيف؟ ولا ولا يهتم بها فهل نقول إنها من علامات النفاق؟ نعم, of course. Missing the salawat continuously missing the salawat يعني is from the signs of nifaq. There are two types of nifaq. There's nifaq i'tiqadi and nifaq amali. And nifaq al-i'tiqadi is hypocrisy of the heart, and there's hypocrisy of the limbs. The Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam, he mentioned that, he said أثقل الصلوات على المنافقين صلاة العشاء يعني وصلاة الفجر. The most heaviest of salawat, the most difficult of salawat upon a munafiq is the salat al-isha and salat al-fajr. The reason for this is because in the time of the Prophet, salat al-isha comes at the end of the day when people are extremely tired. So praying salat al-isha with the jama'ah is very, very difficult anyway. So the munafiq, the hypocrite who only does actions in order to be praised, يعني حتى يمدح, يعني will not want to come to Salat al-Isha because of the fact, firstly, it's night, not many people will see him praying anyway. That's one reason that the scholars of Rahimahumullah Ta'ala mentioned. So continuously يعني دائما إذا كانت صلاة الصبح تفوتك فيعني يجب عليك أن تغير من شأن من أمرك. You have to come with the أسباب. You have to find out why you're missing Salat al-Fajr continuously all the time. Is it because أولا you're sleeping late all the time? If you sleep late all the time, then this is one reason you're missing Salat al-Fajr. So it's upon you to sleep early so you don't miss Salat al-Fajr. It's common sense. If you're, if after even if you go to sleep early, you're playing with your phone all night, and you're either texting on WhatsApp or Twitter or whatever for an extra hour or an extra hour and a half, then you need to stop doing it. You have to place the phone far, far away from you. You have to listen, also from the asbab, from the ways you can pray Salat al-Fajr, is for you to always, before you sleep, before Salat al-Fajr, come with the adhkar of Nawm. Okay? Read the adhkar of Nawm, read the mu'awwidhatayn upon yourself, read Ayatul Kursi upon yourself, and pray to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala that you awake. If you come with these asbab, and you have a firm intention of waking up for Salat al-Fajr, wallah, even if you slept for 2 hours and you're tired, you definitely will wake up, okay? So without placing any ruling on that person, whether he's from the munafiqeen or not from the munafiqeen, then it's upon you to change your ways, inshallah ta'ala, and come closer to Allah by praying Salat al-Subh. This is extremely important. If you wake up Salat al-Subh for a week, inshallah, 7 days in a row, yes, it will be difficult. Know that afterwards, inshallah, it will become easier, bi'idhnillah ta'ala. Let's continue, inshallah. What time is Isha? 9:45. طيب. إن الحمد لله نحمده ونستعينه ونستغفره ونعوذ بالله من شرور أنفسنا ومن سيئات أعمالنا. من يهده الله فلا مضل له ومن يضلل فلا هادي له. وأشهد أن لا إله إلا الله وحده لا شريك له وأشهد أن محمدا عبده ورسوله. يا أيها الذين آمنوا اتقوا الله حق تقاته ولا تموتن إلا وأنتم مسلمون. يا أيها الناس اتقوا ربكم الذي خلقكم من نفس واحدة وخلق منها زوجها وبث منهما رجالا كثيرا ونساء واتقوا الله الذي تساءلون به والأرحام إن الله كان عليكم رقيبا. يا أيها الذين آمنوا اتقوا الله وقولوا قولا سديدا يصلح لكم أعمالكم ويغفر لكم ذنوبكم ومن يطع الله ورسوله فقد فاز فوزا عظيما. ثم أما بعد فإن خير الحديث كلام الله وخير الهدى هدى محمد صلى الله عليه وسلم وشر الأمور محدثاتها وكل محدثة بدعة وكل بدعة ضلالة. ثم أما بعد. Know, Ikhwani, that in this day and age that we live in times of fitnah. And these fitn, they come in different shapes and sizes. There are fitn that are individual, that are specific to a specific person, and there are fitna or fitna that is widespread and collective and encompasses the whole ummah. So the word fitna in the Arabic language means al-ibtila' wal-ikhtibar wal-imtihan. It means to test, trials and tribulations. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, He says, وَنَبْلُوكُمْ بِالشَّرِّ وَالْخَيْرِ فِتْنَةً وَإِلَيْنَا تُرْجَعُونَ. And we will test you with evil and with good as a form of fitna, and you will return to us. So fitna comes, you could be tested with children, with offspring, which are khair. It is a form of fitna. You could be tested with an illness, which is a form of fitna. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, He says, حَسِبَ النَّاسُ أَن يُتْرَكُوا أَن يَقُولُوا آمَنَّا وَهُمْ لَا يُفْتَنُونَ. Do people think that they will not be tested? That they will be left alone to say, آمَنَّا, we believe, وَهُمْ لَا يُفْتَنُونَ, without being tested. And Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala clarifies and He says, فَلَيَعْلَمَنَّ اللَّهُ الَّذِينَ صَدَقُوا وَلَيَعْلَمَنَّ الْكَاذِبِينَ. Indeed, Allah will come to know those of you who are truthful in iman and statements, and those of you who are not so truthful. Fitna also means al-kufr wa shirk. فَلْيَحْذَرِ الَّذِينَ يُخَالِفُونَ عَنْ أَمْرِهِ أَن تُصِيبَهُم فِتْنَةٌ أَوْ يُصِيبَهُم عَذَابٌ أَلِيمٌ. Let them, those who oppose the Messenger of Allah and His commandments, let them be wary of a fitna, yani of kufr or a shirk that could afflict them. So opposing the Messenger of Allah sallallahu alaihi wasallam could cause a person to fall into innovation, to fall into kufr and disbelief. These are the general meanings of fitna. And in today's lecture, inshallah, we will take some qawa'id of principles which we can use, inshallah ta'ala, in order to defend ourselves from the fitan that encompasses us. And these qawa'id of principles each have proofs and evidences, inshallah ta'ala. So we'll mention them one by one. Al-qa'idatul ula, and before we mention them, know that there are two types of fitan: fitna to shubuhat and fitna to shahawat. The fitna of misconceptions and doubts, and the fitna of lusts and desires. The worst of the two is fitna to shubuhat. So al-qa'idatul ula is, the first principle is لا تتبع العاطفة وقيدها بالشرع. This is very important. In times of fitna, do not follow your sentiments and emotions, but rather make sure that your sentiments and emotions are controlled with the legislation. Know, ikhwani fillah, that emotions and sentiment they have to be controlled with intellect and rationality. And your intellect and rationality has to be controlled by the Sharia, by the legislation, by the Quran and the Sunnah. So as Muslims, when we are faced with a fitna, we cannot interact with this fitna based upon emotions and based upon sentiments. So if, for example, something happens in the community, we cannot go, for example, and do things that are based on innovation, such as, for example, demonstrating, protesting, doing these things. Why? Because this is not how Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, the Messenger, taught us to deal with fitna. There are hundreds of other ways of dealing with fitna, and that is not one of them. So in times of fitna, لا تتبع العاطفة وقيدها بالشرع. And the scholars, rahimahumullah ta'ala, they say regarding the awatif, they say al-awatif wa awasif. They say that the awatif or emotions are awasif, they are like storms. When a storm comes, when a tornado comes, does a tornado discriminate as to which house it will destroy? The answer is no. It will destroy anything and everything in its path. Likewise, when you let your emotions run loose, then you will destroy anything or everything that is in your path. You will say things that are permissible. You will also say things that are impermissible or haram. You will do things that are halal, and you will do things that are haram. Number two, from the principles of this, of dealing with fitan, the second qa'idah, إِيَّاكَ وَالْعَجَلَ وَالْزَمِ الْأَنَاتِ. Be wary of being hasty. Do not be hasty in times of fitna. And وَالْزَمِ الْأَنَاتِ, and make sure that you beautify yourself with anat, with deliberation, with patience. So in times of fitna, do not be the first to speak. Make sure that the first to speak are the scholars. Make sure that you are the last person to speak. Do not speak without knowledge in times of fitna, because everything you say, مَا يَلْفِظُ مِنْ قَوْلٍ إِلَّا لَدَيْهِ رَقِيبٌ عَتِيدٌ. Don't speak your opinion. Don't say, I think it's halal, I think it's haram. As Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala says, وَلَا تَقُولُوا لِمَا تَصِفُ أَلْسِنَتُكُمُ الْكَذِبَ هَذَا حَلَالٌ وَهَذَا حَرَامٌ لِتَفْتَرُوا عَلَى اللَّهِ الْكَذِبَ. إِنَّ الَّذِينَ يَفْتَرُونَ عَلَى اللَّهِ الْكَذِبَ لَا يُفْلِحُونَ. And do not say from those things that your tongues have mentioned, يعني, so that you may deceive and you may lie against Allah. يعني هذا halal, this is halal, this is haram. Okay, so we cannot, in times of fitna, ilzam al-anat. Make sure you know the ruling. Don't just because people are talking about this mas'ala doesn't make you giving you the right and say. Don't say to yourself, let me also join in. Let me give my opinion. خليني أدلو بدلوي. Let me give my opinion. It's not the time for opinions, ikhwan. When fitna strikes, make sure that you are silent with the silence of the scholars. And when you speak with the speech of the scholars. It's very, very simple, ikhwan. And the proof of this is the verse where Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala says, يَا أَيُّهَا الَّذِينَ آمَنُوا إِنْ جَاءَكُمْ فَاسِقٌ بِنَبَإٍ فَتَبَيَّنُوا. O you who believe, when a fasiq comes to you, when someone who is a known sinner comes to you with a piece of news, فَتَبَيَّنُوا, then seek clarification, seek verification. Don't just listen to them. If someone comes and says to you, gives you a piece of news about a community or about people or about a particular person, don't just believe them. Verify for yourself. Go to the source and verify before you act upon this. Also, Imam al-Shawkani, he says regarding the verse, كَلَّا بَلْ تُحِبُّونَ الْعَاجِلَةِ. Nay, indeed you love the ajila, يعني dunya, you love this dunya, this fleeting dunya that will depart. He says, كَلَّا فِي الرَّدْعِ عَنِ الْعَجَلَةِ وَلِلتَّرْغِيبِ فِي الْأَنَاتِ. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is warning against being hasty, and He is encouraging us to be deliberate and to be patient. Imam al-Tirmidhi narrates a hadith by Sahl ibn Sa'd al-Sa'idi, where the Prophet sallallahu alayhi wa sallam, he says, Al-anatu min Allah wal-ajalatu min ash-shaytan. Patience is from Allah. Being patient, not being hasty, is from Allah, and hastiness comes from the shaitan. And this is extremely important. And the hadith, the Prophet sallallahu alayhi wa sallam, he said to Ashaj Abdul Qais, he said, Inna fika khaslatayn yuhibbuhum Allah wa yuhibbuhum Allah ta'ala. Indeed, you have two khaslat, you have two characteristics that Allah loves. Al-hilm wal-anat, forbearance and deliberation. Al-Imam al-Nawawi rahimahullah ta'ala, he says, أَمَّا الْحِلْمُ فَهُوَ الْعَقْلِ. As for hilm, then it means rationality and intellect. وَأَمَّا الْأَنَاتُ فَهِيَ التَّثَبُّتُ وَتَرْكُ الْعَجَلَ. Al-anat is for the person to be patient and for the person to look at a matter closely, to study a matter before that person passes a judgment on that matter and says, "Khalas, this matter is good or this matter is evil." And Ibn Umar radiallahu ta'ala anhu, when a matter used to come, when a fitna came, he would, especially the fitna of the companions, he would bring his family together, his children and his household together, and he would prohibit them from speaking or doing anything, literally, regarding this fitna. So in times of fitna, if you do not know the ruling and the hukm al-shar'i, then you do not engage in the fitna. Don't sit in the sittings where people are discussing the fitna. Do not be tempted to give your ruling. Make sure that in times of fitna, your name is not mentioned. Make sure that in times of fitna, no one knows you. Being anonymous in times of fitna is better. For your name to be mentioned in fitna is a fitna. Okay? And the proof of this is that Shaykh al-Islam ibn Taymiyyah rahimahullah ta'ala, when he was speaking about the companions of the Prophet sallallahu alayhi wa sallam and the fitna that happened between the companions when Aisha radiallahu ta'ala anha, she fought against Ali, and then Ali ibn Abi Talib fought against Muawiyah radiallahu ta'ala anhum jami'an. And he said regarding this fitna, he said there were three groups of companions in this fitna. He said the first group of companions are those who were mistaken. Those who engaged in the fitna, but they were in the wrong side, meaning they were wrong in their judgment. And he said they are Muawiyah radiallahu ta'ala anhu and his group. However, although they were wrong in their ijtihad, however, they have an ajr and they have a reward. They have one reward because of their ijtihad, because they genuinely felt that they were upon the haqq. And it is impermissible and kabira min al-kabair, but it can lead someone out of the fold of Islam for anyone to disrespect Muawiyah and any of the companions for that mistake that they have fell into, because their good deeds are far, far, far more numerous than any bad deeds that they have. That's the first group of companions. The second group of companions are those who were upon the haqq, upon the truth. And they are Ali ibn Abi Talib radiallahu ta'ala anhu, and his group. And we know this because of the hadith of the Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam when he said to Ammar ibn Yasir, تقتلك الفئة الباغية. Oh Ammar, you will be killed by the group of people who are oppressors, those who are upon the wrong. And he was killed by Muawiyah radiallahu ta'ala anhu. So we know that Ali ibn Abi Talib was upon the haqq. طيب. So that's the second group of people. But he said the third group of companions, they are the ones هم الذين أصابوا الحق المحض. They are the group of companions. They are the ones who have they are the ones who have who fell into, or they are the ones who were given the tawfiq of the pure haqq, the pure truth. Ali ibn Abi Talib were upon the truth, but this group of people, they were 100% correct, and he said they were the ones هم الذين لم يخوضوا في الفتن أصلا ولم يذكر أسماءهم أو لم تذكر أسماءهم في الفتن, and they are the ones whose names have not even been mentioned in the fitna. They did not even engage in the fitna, and he said هم الأكثرية, and they are the majority of the companions, such as Abdullah ibn Umar, Abdullah ibn Abbas, Sa'd ibn Abi Waqqas, the majority of the companions, alhamdulillah. So in times of fitna, for your name not to be mentioned in times of fitna is a ni'mah. Wallah, it's a blessing. If there is a fitna amongst Ahlul Sunnah wal Jama'ah, amongst the Muslims, and no one knows who you are, and no one wants to listen to what you have to say, then say Alhamdulillah, Wallah al-Azim, go home and say Allahumma lak al-hamd, because you are upon khair. The musibah is when people come and ask for your opinion. This is where the musibah is. طيب. Number 3 from the qawa'id is إياك والجهل واحرص على العلم الشرعي. إياك والجهل. Make sure that in times of fitna you are not ignorant. Do not be from those who are ignorant. واحرص على العلم الشرعي, and be diligent in learning and accumulating knowledge. In learning and accumulating knowledge that will be of benefit to you. Al-Imam al-Sa'di, he has an abiyat, he says, اعلم هديت أن أفضل المنن علم يزيل الشك عنك والدرب. He says, no, اعلم هديت, and may Allah guide you, that the best fadl, or the best blessings that you can be given, علم, knowledge, يزيل الشك عنك والدرب, and knowledge that will remove doubts and sins from your heart. This is a huge blessing. And we all know the Abu Bakr Ishaq al-Biri rahimahullah ta'ala, when he was giving a nasiha to his companion Abu Bakr, he said, أبا بكر دعوتك لو أجبت إلى علم تكون به إماما. Oh Abu Bakr, I call you, if only you would answer, I call you to a knowledge in which you will become an imam. إلى علم تكون به إماما مطاعا إن نهيت وإن أمرت. A knowledge in which you will become مطاع, people will obey you if you command and you prohibit. مطاعا إن نهيت وإن أمرت ويجلو ما بعينك من غشاها ويهديك السبيل إذا ضللت. And the ghisha and the cover that's in front of your eyes will be exposed. You will be able to see the haqq for the haqq, and you will be able to see batil for the batil that it is. ويهديك السبيل إذا ضللت. And Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala will guide you to the truth, to the haqq. If you become misguided, Allah will guide you to the haqq because of the knowledge, the qawa'id that you have. وَيَهْدِيكَ السَّبِيلَ إِذَا ضَلَلْتَ. So this is why, ikhwan, knowledge is extremely, extremely important. This is why as Muslims we learn knowledge in order to safeguard ourselves. It's the only thing that will save us from fitnah, to be honest with you. Nothing will save you from fitnah. The only way you can increase your iman is through knowledge. Is through al-ilm al-shar'i. If your knowledge is deficient, so is your iman. The more knowledge you have, the more iman you have. There is a direct correlation between knowledge and iman, ikhwani fillah. طيب. Number 4 from the qawa'id is عند الاختلاف إياك والصغار والزم الكبار. When there's a difference of opinion, make sure you stick firm to the scholars and to the kibar, and stay away from the sighar, from the small students of knowledge. This is extremely important. When we say kibar, we mean ulama who are kibar fi ilmihim or kibar fi sinnihim. They are kibar in terms of their knowledge, and they are kibar in terms of their age. This is very important. In terms of fitnah, do not follow the likes of me, young students of knowledge who've just started to learn who've just started to learn knowledge now. Follow scholars who have been seeking knowledge and giving knowledge for 50, 60, 70 years, 40 years, people who يعني هؤلاء الذين شابت لحاهم في العلم والعمل والطاعة. Those are the scholars who they've become grey hair. Their hair has become grey in seeking knowledge, in giving knowledge. Don't follow the sigar. Don't follow people that are yes, they may be upon Ahlul Sunnah wal Jama'ah, but you don't need to follow their opinion. Follow the opinion of the ulama, of the scholars. Unless they come to you with the opinion of the scholars and they say to you, listen, I am not a scholar, but this is the opinion of the scholars. That's a different case. So عند الاختلاف, this is extremely important. We as Muslims, whether they were laymen, whether we're students of knowledge, we're all equal in this. We follow the ulama and the scholars. This is very, very important. طيب. Number 5, إياك والأمور الحادثة والزم السنة. This is a very important principle. إياك والأمور الحادثة. Stay away from innovative matters. والزم السنة, and adhere to the sunnah. Innovative matters are matters that are not known. Matters that the people do not know, ikhwan fillah. Matters that are innovated in this religion, whether it's an innovation in terms of how giving da'wah, or people come to you with a new way of giving da'wah, or they come to you with a fitnah that wasn't there previously, or they come to you with a slogan or a statement that you do not know what it means. For example, any statements by, all you have to do is listen to the Quillen Foundation, for example. This is just one example. And you'll see hundreds of these statements. One of their statements is, for example, no idea is immune to scrutiny. No idea is immune to scrutiny. This is a very dangerous statement, because if they mean by idea, for example, creed, ideology, aqidah, and Islam falls into this, then that means that Islam is not immune to scrutiny. You can scrutinize Islam, you can scrutinize the Quran, you can raise doubts about the Quran, and this is obviously kufr and disbelief and iyad billah. So know, ikhwan fillah, that anything that is innovative, we stay away from this. And the proof of this is an athar by Mu'adh ibn Jabal in Sunan Abi Dawud. Listen to this athar, ikhwan, very important athar. Listen to this athar very carefully, ikhwan. Abu Dawud, he narrates أن معاذ بن جبل رضي الله تعالى عنه كان لا يجلس مجلسا للذكر إلا قال الله حكم عدل هلك المرتابون. Mu'adh, every time he sat to give lectures or to give knowledge, he would say, Allah حكم عدل. Indeed, Allah is the most just. He is the most just. هلك المرتابون. Those who have doubts are perished or are destroyed. Those who have doubts about their religion are destroyed. فقال يوما, so one day he said to his students, he said this in his speech, this is Mu'adh ibn Jabal, في القرن الأول, from the first generation. He said, إن من ورائكم فتنا. Indeed, there will come after you fitan, trials and tribulations. يكثر فيها المال ويفتح فيها القرآن. Wealth will become plentiful, and the Quran will become easily accessible, meaning knowledge will become easily accessible. حتى يأخذه المؤمن, to the extent that this knowledge and this Quran will be taken by the believer, والمنافق, and by the hypocrite, والرجل, and by men, والمرأة, and by women, والصغير, it will be taken by the young, والكبير, and the old, والحر, and the free, والعبد, and the slave. Everyone will have access to knowledge. Everyone will have access to the Quran. There will be many qurra. Many people will be able to recite the Quran with eloquency. Okay? This will be the situation. And wealth will become plentiful. Then he says, فَيُوشِكُ قَائِلٌ أَنْ يَقُولُ. He says that it is we fear that a person from amongst them will say, مَا لِلنَّاسِ لَا يَتَّبِعُونِي وَقَدْ قَرَأْتُ الْقُرْآنِ. What is wrong with the people? Why don't the people follow me, although I have read the Quran? مَا هُمْ بِمُتَّبِعِيَّ. Indeed, they will not follow me. حَتَّى أَبْتَدِعَ لَهُمْ غَيْرَهُ. Until I innovate something new for them. Subhanallah. Meaning that this person will look at the situation in the da'wah, for example, because this is a person who was giving da'wah. He's a person who's reciting the Quran. And he will look at the situation and he will see many people like himself. And then he will say to himself, The only way I can get these people to follow me, the only way I can... So Mu'adh ibn Jabal is clearly saying that this person's only desire and objective is what? Is to accumulate what? Followers. That's his only objective. Because he said, مَا لِلنَّاسِ لَا يَتَّبِعُونِ. Why don't the people follow me? Okay, all he wants is not to call to Allah. هو يدعو إلى نفسه لا يدعو إلى الله. يدعو إلى نفسه يدعو إلى يريد السمعة يريد الرفعة. He wants shuhra. He wants to be famous. He wants people to recognize him. He wants people to acknowledge that he has knowledge. He wants people to know that he is a reciter, a qari. So this person is saying, because of his lust and the fitna of حب الظهور وحب الشهرة, the love of fame, the love of standing out from the crowd, because of this, he's saying to himself, the only way that these people will follow me is if I bring something new to the table. Okay, and this is Mu'adh ibn Jabal saying this, Ikhwan. As-Sahabi al-Jalil. أعلم الناس بالحلال والحرام في هذه الأمة. The most knowledgeable in this ummah when it comes to al-halal wal-haram. So this person is a person who recites the Quran. Let's look at the situation now, Ikhwan. Now, people, there are know Qurra more than they know the scholars. They know people who recite the Quran. All you have to do is go on YouTube and you will find men reciting the Quran with eloquent voices. You will find women reciting the Quran with eloquent voices. You will find anyone reciting the Quran with eloquent voices. And subhanAllah, no sooner do you hear someone with a nice voice, all you got to do is wait for a few months. Someone else with an even better voice comes, and then people start to flock and say, SubhanAllah, did you listen to so and so? Did you listen to his recitation? Wow, SubhanAllah, what a beautiful recitation. And SubhanAllah, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala says regarding this, وَمِنْهُمْ أُمِّيُّونَ لَا يَعْلَمُونَ الْكِتَابَ إِلَّا أَمَانِي. And from them are ummiyun, are those who are illiterate, cannot read nor write. لا يعلمون الكتاب, they don't know how to recite the Quran. إلا أماني, except recite. They don't know the Quran except through recitation. How does this verse make any sense? Allah affirms for them that they are illiterate. Allah negates from them the fact that they can read and write, and then He affirms for them that they can read the Quran. What does this mean? Shaykh ibn Uthaymeen, he says, لا يعرفون الحلال والحرام في القرآن. ومنهم أميون لا يعلمون الكتاب إلا أماني أي إلا قراءة. The only thing they know about the Quran is how to recite the Quran with eloquent voices. That's it. They don't know the halal, the ahkam, and the rulings that are can be derived from the Quran. And now you see the fitna where people, and this is subhanAllah, something that you can notice. You notice in Muslims nowadays. We have a tendency of elevating people above their station. When Aisha radiallahu ta'ala anha, she said, أُمِرْنَا نُنَزِّلَ النَّاسَ مَنَازِلَهُم. We have been ordered to place the people in their rightful station. We see a qari who does not know anything, who has no fiqh. He's just a mujarrad qari, and we give him the microphone to give lectures about issues that they have no knowledge of. We hear a speaker speaking about a particular issue. We listen to the speaker just because they have eloquent voices, just because they have eloquency, just because they can, we like the way they speak. Ikhwan, if you're looking for eloquency, Ikhwan, all you have to do is listen to BBC Parliament. Switch on BBC Parliament and 10 Downing Street. Wabillahi tawfiq. All you got to do is listen to them, and you'll see eloquency. Subhanallah. So that's why, Ikhwan fillah, al-mi'yar fi shar, the measurement is not the followers that person has. Mu'adh ibn Jabal is saying regarding this person, he's saying that this person is someone who may come and say, مَا لِلنَّاسِ لَا يَتَّبِعُونِي وَقَدْ قَرَأْتُ الْقُرْآنِ. They're not going to follow me until I innovate something new for them. So this person, while they're giving da'wah, when they're giving da'wah, ikhwan, they will try and make their da'wah more extravagant. They will try and do things that no other da'i has ever done before. They will try and give titles to their lectures that may even be deceiving to the actual lecture itself, just so that this person may yaksib just so that this person may attract more people to come to the lecture, attract more people to come to follow him. And you will see this person sabaha masa, morning, by night, by morning, he's on Twitter, tweeting things that are maybe of some benefit and may not be of some benefit, but his intention is to seek followers, is to always seek atba'. He's on Facebook, he's on social media. Ya ikhwan, subhanallah, al-ibratu laysa bil-atba'. We don't, as a Muslim, as a da'iyah, you don't look at the number of followers that you have. Your da'wah to Ahl Sunnah wal Jama'ah laysat mabniya ala al-atba'. We give da'wah. Whoever follows, Allahumma laka al-hamd. Even if one person is guided, we say alhamdulillah. If no one is guided by your da'wah, we say alhamdulillah, we've tried. There are prophets and messengers that will come on the day of resurrection who will have no atba'. They will have no followers, ikhwan. Imagine this. Prophets and messengers who have been giving da'wah for hundreds of years, they will come, وَلَيْسَ مَعَهُمْ أَحَدٍ. Their whole ummah, no one believed them, subhanallah. And these are prophets and messengers. So ikhwan fillah, seeking recognition, all of these issues are extremely, extremely dangerous. Then Mu'adh continues and he says, فَإِيَّاكُمْ وَمَبْتُدِعْ فَإِنَّ مُبْتُدِعَ ضَلَالًا. So he says, I warn you regarding what this person has innovated, for what they have innovated is misguidance. وَأُحَذِّرُكُمْ زَلَّةَ الْحَكِيمِ. And I warn you regarding the mistakes of the scholar, the wise person. فَإِنَّ الشَّيْطَانَ, for indeed the shaitan, قَدْ يَقُولُ كَلِمَةَ الضَّلَالَةِ عَلَى لِسَانِ الْحَكِيمِ. The shaitan may say a misguided word upon the tongue of the scholar. وَقَدْ يَقُولُ الْمُنَافِقُ كَلِمَةَ الْحَقِّ. And the munafiq and the hypocrite may say a truthful statement. قال الراوي, one of his students said to Mu'adh, فقلت لمعاذ, so I said to Mu'adh, ما يدريني رحمك الله أن الحكيم قد يقول كلمة الضلالة. How am I supposed to know, may Allah have mercy upon you, Mu'adh, that the wise person or the scholar will say a kalimat al-dalala, a misguided statement? How can I know what he has said because he is a scholar and I trust him? I trust everything he says is correct. How am I supposed to know that that particular fatwa is wrong or is upon dalala? وَأَنَّ الْمُنَافِقَ, and that the munafiq قَدْ يَقُولُ كَلِمَةَ الْحَقِّ, and that the hypocrite may say a truthful statement. قَالَ بَلَى, he said. Mu'adh said, بَلَى, نعم, indeed. احتسب من كلام الحكيم المشتهرات التي يقال لها ما هذه. Sorry, عفوا. اجتنب من كلام الحكيم المشتهرات التي يقال لها ما هذه. He says, اجتنب, stay away from the statements of the scholar, what's known as al-mushtahirat, issues that they become famous for, issues that are controversial, that other scholars have disagreed with them on, and that the people say, ma hadi, what is this? Ish hada, subhanallah. Do you understand? These are very issues that attract your attention. Things that, as a believer, because every believer has some firasa in them, has some khair and goodness in them, which will always protect them from evil. If as a believer, as a mustaqam, someone was upon the straight path, you say, subhanallah, I didn't know this was halal, I didn't know this was haram, but all those scholars said it's haram. How can he say this? And he's someone respected. No, Ikhwan, this is a sign that you should stay away from what that scholar has said. طيب. Wala, he says, and this second part is important. وَلَا يَثْنِيَنَّ ذَلِكَ عَنْهُ. And do not drop this scholar. Do not disrespect this scholar. That mistake he has made, this is Mu'adh ibn Jabal, by the way, he's saying this. This mistake that scholar has made that should not cause you to disrespect him. فَإِنَّهُ لَعَلَّهُ أَن يُرَاجِعْ. For indeed, maybe he will retract from his statement. وَتَلَقَّى الْحَقَّ إِذَا سَمِعْتَهُ. And accept the truth when you hear the truth. فَإِنَّ عَلَى الْحَقِّ نُورًا. For indeed the haqq, there is a light upon the haqq. For indeed the haqq, there is light and there is nur upon the haqq. So ikhwani fillah, this is very important. An example is, we all know that a few years ago, some students of knowledge or some learned people, they came and they said that music is halal. And it's still, subhanAllah, it's a fitnah nowadays that's ongoing. Yeah, and they said that music is halal. The majority of the scholars are upon this is يكاد أن يكون إجماعا إخوان, that music is haram إخوان. But they said that there are certain types of music that are halal. What do you do as a Muslim? These are min al-mushtahirat. These are the issues that Mu'adh ibn Jabal is speaking about. These are the issues that we have to stay away from. We know that music is haram. Al-adilla tadulla alayha. There are many proofs and evidences which indicate to the fact that music is haram. طيب. The next issue, or the next qa'id, I'm going to summarize, I only have 15 minutes. إِيَّاكَ أَن تَقْتَرِبْ مِنَ الْفِتْنَةِ وَابْتَعِدْ عَنْهَا. I warn you, he says, the next qa'ida is, do not go near any fitna and stay away from fitna as far away as possible. The proof of this is the hadith of the Prophet ﷺ, hadith Abi Hurairah, where the Prophet says, سَتَكُونُ فِتَنٌ الْقَاعِدُ فِيهَا خَيْرٌ مِنَ الْقَائِمِ. There will be fitan, الْقَاعِدُ فِيهَا, the one who is sitting will be better than the one who is standing. وَالْقَائِمُ فِيهَا خَيْرٌ مِنَ الْمَاشِي, and the one who is standing will be better than the one who is walking. وَالْمَاشِي فِيهَا خَيْرٌ مِنَ السَّاعِي, and the one who is walking will be better than the one who is running. وَمَنْ يُشْرِفْ لَهَا, and whoever goes looking for fitna, تَسْتَشْرِفُ, the fitna will find this person. وَمَنْ وَجَدَ مَلْجَأً فَلْيَعُدْ بِهِ, and whoever finds a malja, whoever finds a hiding place to hide themselves from the fitna, then let that person hide there. طيب, the meaning of this hadith is that the more exposed you are to fitna, the more danger you are in. So the one who is sitting is the one who is, and there's another athar, and the one who is asleep in times of fitna. The Prophet ﷺ says the one who is asleep, and نَائِمُ فِيهَا خَيْرٌ مِنَ الْيَقْظَانِ, the one who is asleep is better than the one who is awake. Nowadays when something happens, or a fitna occurs, people, and you're none the wiser, you don't know what's happening. Okay, and you say, subhanallah, what's going on? What do people say to you? They say to you, Akhi, which rock have you been living under? Which planet are you from? How can you not know this has been happening? This is the situation of the ummah, the hal of the Muslims. And that shows that you don't care about the Muslims. Ya Akhi, subhanallah, man ana, even if I knew, what can I do about this fitna? And this fitna, do you know the ruling regarding this fitna? Is it halal, is it haram? Is it this, is it that? So just knowing that there is a fitna, one is danger in itself. Being oblivious to fitna, being oblivious and having no knowledge of fitna is in itself khair or ni'mah. And na'imu fiha, the one who's asleep in times of fitna, he has no clue what's happening, is better than the one who's awake and who's aware of the fitna. And the scholars, they say regarding the one who walks to fitna, they say هو الذي يمشي مع أهل الفتنة لغرض غير الفتنة كالتجارة. They say he is the one who walks with the people of fitna for something that is other than the fitna. He doesn't want to get involved in the fitna, but he's walking with them for something else, like he wants to buy and sell with them or something. He has some goods, for example. Even this person is exposed and in danger. So in another narration, the Prophet ﷺ was asked, what should we do in those times, O Messenger of Allah? He said, the Prophet ﷺ, he says, مَنْ كَانَتْ لَهُ إِبِلٌ فَلْيَلْحَقْ بِهَا. Whoever has camels, let him go to his camels. وَمَنْ كَانَتْ لَهُ غَنَمٌ فَلْيَلْحَقْ بِهَا. Whoever has sheep, let him go to his sheep. وَمَنْ كَانَتْ لَهُ أَرْضٌ فَلْيَلْحَقْ بِهَا. Whoever has land, let him go to his land. What does that mean? In times of fitna, go about your day-to-day activities as though nothing happened. Go to work every morning. Go and feed your family. Provide for your family. Go close to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala by providing for your wife and your children. In times of fitna, do not engage in times of fitna. Don't worry about the fitna. There will come a time, inshaAllah ta'ala, when the scholars speak, and when they speak, you will know the haqq, and you will know the truth. The scholars, they say, when the fitna approaches, and when the fitna comes, the first people to know that it is a fitna are the scholars. And the last, and the juhal and the ignorant will only know it's a fitna after the fitna has left or departed. طيب. Number 7, منع الفتنة أسهل من رفعها ودفعها. Preventing fitna is easier than lifting and removing the fitna once it occurs. Number 8, احذر الهوى عندما تأخذ بالفتوى وخذ بما أضاءه الدليل. Do not, when it comes to taking a fatwa, do not follow your whims and desires, but follow the dalil. Some people, when it comes to the scholars, they handpick the scholars that they go to, because they know that particular scholar will give them a particular answer that they're seeking. This is hawa fil fatwa. This is following your desires in fatwa. وهذا لا يجوز. This is very, very dangerous. And هذا يدل على هذا. This can lead to zandaqa wal iyad billah. It can lead to apostasy. It can lead to innovation. Following certain scholars only and taking particular fatwas, handpicking fatwas to suit your needs and to suit your desires, then this is extremely, extremely dangerous. The next قاعدة إن كنت عاميا فلا تأخذ بالتشهي وقلد الأعلم. في البلد. If you're an ammi, someone who's a layman, then follow the most knowledgeable person in your land. The most knowledgeable person whose knowledge, whose wisdom and is someone who you trust. طيب. The next قاعدة is لا تنازع النصوص بما تريد واجعل ما تريد على وفق النصوص. When it comes to following the Quran and the Sunnah, do not follow your whims and desires, but rather do not let your whims and desires contradict the Quran and the Sunnah, but rather make sure that you give precedence to the Quran and the Sunnah over your whims and desires. And there are many proofs for this. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala says, فَلَا وَرَبِّكَ لَا يُؤْمِنُونَ حَتَّى يُحَكِّمُوكَ فِي مَا شَجَرَ بَيْنَهُمْ. فَلَا وَرَبِّكَ, indeed, by Allah they will not believe until they make you a judge and an arbitrator between those matters that they have differed in amongst themselves. And Imam al-Shafi'i says, أجمع الناس على أن من استبانت له سنة رسول الله صلى الله عليه وسلم لم يكن له أن يدعها لقول أحد من الناس. That the Muslims are all in agreement that whoever if the Sunnah has become apparent for you and it's become clear for you, then it is impermissible for you to follow the statement of anyone else, as long as the Sunnah, whoever that person may be. طيب. The next principle is احذر الفرقة والزم الجماعة. احذر الفرقة والزم الجماعة. Beware when it comes to discord and dissension in the community. Do not follow. Do not be warned regarding anything that causes. Stay away from anything that causes discord, dissension, or fitna in the community. And make sure that you follow the jama'ah. You follow the jama'ah. And the meaning of jama'ah here is كل ما كان على الحق or كل من كان على الحق. Anyone who's upon the haqq or the truth, even if they are the minority. Okay, the jama'ah is any person or any community or any group of people who are upon the daleel or upon the haqq, even if those who oppose them may be more and more numerous than them in number. And the proof of this is the hadith of Hudayfa, narrated by Bukhari and Muslim. Hudayfa ibn al-Yaman radiyallahu ta'ala anhu, he said, كان الناس يسألون رسول الله صلى الله عليه وسلم عن الخير وكنت أسأله عن الشر مخافة أن يدركني. That he says that the people used to ask the Prophet صلى الله عليه وسلم about good things, and I used to ask him about evil matters for fear that I may fall into them. فقلت, then I said, يا رسول الله, O Messenger of Allah, إنا كنا في جاهلية وشر فجاءنا الله بهذا الخير فهل بعد هذا الخير إنا كنا في جاهلية وشر فجاءنا الله بهذا الخير فهل بعد هذا الخير من شر. O Messenger of Allah, we were in jahiliyyah, we were in evil and ignorance and evil, and then Allah brought this khair, this Islam that you have, He brought this for us. So will there be any evil after this khair? The Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam, he said, "Na'am, there will be, yes." قلت, then I said, وَهَلْ بَعْدَ ذَلِكَ الشَّرْ مِنْ خَيْرٍ? Will there be any khair or good after that evil? The Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam, he said, "Na'am." He said, "Na'am وَفِيهِ دَخَنْ." Yes, there will be khair, but there will be elements of evil as well. قلت, then I said, وَمَا دَخَنُوا? What are these elements of evil? قال, the Prophet said, قَوْمٌ يَهْدُونَ بِغَيْرِ هَدِي تَعْرِفُ مِنْهُمْ وَتُنْكِرُ. They are people who will call to other than my sunnah. You will see things that you like from them, and you will see things that you dislike from them. So they will have their du'at, they have good traits and they have bad traits. They have innovation and they have sunnah. Then the Prophet said, then I said to the Prophet, فَهَلْ بَعْدَ ذَلِكَ الْخَيْرِ مِنْ شَرٍ? So will there be any khair or any good after that shar or evil? قال, the Prophet sallallahu alayhi wasallam, he said, نعم, yes. دعاة على أبواب جهنم من أجابهم إليها قذفوه فيها. دعاة, callers, or du'at who call the people to the doors of Jahannam, of hellfire. Whoever answers their call, they will throw them into that hellfire. قلت, I said, Ya Rasulullah, O Messenger of Allah, may Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala have mercy upon Hudayfa ibn al-Yaman for asking these questions. Because if he didn't ask these questions, the Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam would not give him these answers. He said, قلت Ya Rasulullah, I said, Ya O Messenger of Allah, sifhum lana, describe them to us. These du'at that will throw us into the hellfire if we follow them, who are they? the Prophet said, sallallahu alayhi wa sallam, "Hum min jildatina wa yatakallamuna bi alsinatina." They are from our people. They are from our skin. Yani they are from the same. Yani they are from us, and they speak with our tongue. قلت, then I said, فما تأمرني إن أدركني ذلك? What do you command me to do if I meet them? What do you command me to do if I live in those times? The Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam said, قال تلزم جماعة المسلمين وإمامهم. تلزم جماعة المسلمين. Make sure that you stick to the jama'ah of the Muslims and their imam. Stick to the group that is upon the haqq, al-firqatul najiyah, the saved sect, the victorious sect, the sect that the Prophet ﷺ gave glad tidings to. Stick to them. Then قلت, then I said to the Prophet, فإن لم يكن لهم جماعة ولا إمام. What if they have no jama'ah, O Messenger of Allah, and they have no imam? What if on that day they have no jama'ah and there is no imam? قال, the Prophet ﷺ, he responded and he said, فاعتزل تلك الفرق كلها. سبحان الله. فاعتزل تلك الفرق كلها ولو أن تعض بأصل شجرة حتى يدركك الموت وأنت على ذلك. Stay away from all of these groups. You don't know the haqq from the batil. You're not sure who's upon the haqq, who's upon the batil. What should you do? The Prophet say, follow the group that has most followers, follow the one who's most eloquent, follow the one who makes people laugh, follow the one whose da'wah is based upon entertainment and is humorous and does stand-up comedy shows instead of teaching the people. قال الله قال رسول صلى الله عليه وسلم. Did the Prophet say this? No. He said, فاعتزل تلك الفرق كلها. Stay away from all of these sects. Stay away from all of these groups. Even if this means, listen, even if this means that you bite the roots of the tree from sheer hunger. Okay? You're running away from the fitnah. It's surrounding you. You can't find anything to eat. The only food that you can find is with those groups or with those people of fitnah. What should you do? The Prophet ﷺ says, even if it means that you bite the roots of a tree until death comes to you, then do so. Yani look at the extent that the Prophet ﷺ is warning us against fitnah. That if you had to choose between hunger and following fitnah and the people of fitnah, then you should choose hunger, ikhwan. It's very, very important, ikhwan, this author. The next قاعدة إياك والظلم والشر والعذاب والزم العدل والخير والرحمة. In times of fitnah, do not be oppressive. Do not be evil. Do not punish the people. And stick firm to justice, to goodness and to mercy. In times of fitnah, لا بد أن يسود بين الأمة التعاطف والرحمة والمودة. In times of fitnah, there has to be rahmah, mercy, compassion, because Ahlul Sunnah wal Jama'ah, as Imam Ahmad rahimahullah ta'ala said, Arhamun nasi linnas. From the main characteristics of the people of the Sunnah, that they are merciful to the people. They are more merciful, they are the most merciful to the people. When we say people, we mean Muslims, we mean non-Muslims. They want everyone to be guided. And Imam al-Shafi'i, what did he say? He said, I wish people took the haqq from my mouth. I wish people took the haqq and the truth from my mouth, and that they did not attribute anything to me. They did not say this is from Shafi'i. He's basically saying, look at the ikhlas, subhanAllah. These are imma, these are imma. He's saying basically, I wish people follow the truth that I bring. And I don't care if I'm mentioned. I don't care if Imam al-Shafi'i is mentioned. Because Ahlul Sunnah wal Jama'ah, ikhwan, they call the people to Allah. They don't call the people to themselves. They are Ahlul Sunnah wal Jama'ah. They يربطون الناس بالدليل يا أخوان. They will connect the people to the dalil. They don't connect the people to themselves, to their statements. I said, they said, my quote. Make sure you memorize my quote. No. Ikhwan, what's your quote, Ikhwan? The people, Ikhwan, they need قال الله قال رسوله صلى الله عليه وسلم. You have to connect the people to the dalil, to the proofs. Because if you connect the people to yourself, then the people can become misguided. Are you infallible? Tomorrow you can fall into fitnah. they are going to fall with you into fitna. But if you tell the people the dalil, they will follow the dalil, they will follow قال الله قال رسوله صلى الله عليه وسلم. And إخواني في الله أهل السنة والجماعة, the difference between أهل السنة والجماعة and أهل الفرقة والاختلاف is that أهل السنة والجماعة يستدلون ثم يعتقدون, وأما أهل الفرقة والاختلاف يعتقدون ثم يستدلون. أهل السنة والجماعة, they first look for the dalil, they find the dalil, and then they base their creed and their ideology upon the dalil. As for the people of innovation, they have their corrupt belief, and then they go looking for proof and evidence. And then they find an evidence and they twist the meaning of that dalil, of that ayah, to suit their own agenda. To suit their own agenda. The next qa'idah is لا تغتر بزخرفة الفتن وانظر إلى حقيقتها ببصيرة المؤمن. When fitna comes to you, it's not going to have a huge slogan. It's not going to have a huge title, like a billboard saying, I am a fitna, stay away from me. That's not what's going to happen. When fitna comes, ikhwan, fitna will come in the shape of a sunnah. It can come in the shape of a ibadah, of a ta'ah. You will not know whether it's fitna. So make sure you're not deceived by the beautiful statements of the innovators. They have statements that are eye-catching. They have statements that are very nice, but no statement, ikhwan, no statement can overwhelm or overpower a verse or a Quran. وَقُلْ جَاءَ الْحَقُّ وَزَهَقَ الْبَاطِلُ. Say that the haqq has come and batil, or there is no more batil or falsehood. What time is the adhan? Okay, so inshallah we'll listen to the adhan, or should we just finish and then pray with the adhan and the iqamah? What do you think? No, خلص, huh? طيب. The next qa'idah, Shaykh Ustaad Taymiyyah says regarding this, he says regarding the Dajjal, he says, الدجال أكذب خلق الله. الدجال أكذب خلق الله. The Dajjal is the most deviant or deceptive of the servants of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. However, Allah will give the mu'min the hindsight to know that this Dajjal has come with a deception, because Allah will write kafir on his forehead. And in another, Shaykh Sam, he says in another place, he says, قد اتفق أهل المعرفة والتحقيق أن الرجل لو طار في الهواء أو مشى على الماء لم يتبع إلا أن يكون موافقا لأمر الله ورسوله. He says that all of the scholars, all of the people of intellect are all in agreement that if we see a man who flies in the air or a man who walks on water, that we do not follow them unless they are upon the haqq or the truth, ikhwan. This is very important. Our yaqeen and certainty has to be كالجبال الراسيات, like the mountains, okay, firm. Just because someone flies, if someone, ikhwan fillah, you saw someone flying, literally flying with your own eyes, and you saw someone walking on water, and he said, come follow me, I am upon the haqq. You can see Allah has given me the power to fly. He has given me the power to walk on water. We say, intadhir, wait. قُلْ هَاتُوا بُرْهَانَكُمْ. Give us your proofs and evidences. What do you have that we should follow? In fact, some of the scholars have said, if a companion was to come out of his grave, hypothetically speaking, and was to say to us, follow me, I am upon the haqq, and what you are upon is batil, this is the Quran and this sunnah is wrong, but I am upon the haqq, I have come from the akhirah, and I have seen things that you haven't seen, we do not follow this companion. Because our certainty with قال الله قال رسوله is unshakable. Our yaqeen is unshakable, ikhwan. This Quran that is in front of us is unshakable. Nothing can come and change our perception of it. طيب. And the next qa'idah principle is احذر الغلو والزم الاعتدال. احذر الغلو, stay away from extremism. Stay away from being extreme. والزم الاعتدال, and always follow the middle course. Extremism in ibadah, in worship. This leads to fitna. Being extreme in anything, literally in anything that you do, whether it's in bab al-ibadat or bab al-mu'amalat, this is very, very dangerous. The Prophet sallallahu alayhi wa sallam, he said, al-qasta tablughu. Al-qast, the middle path, indeed you will attain the highest or achieve the highest of goals. And the Prophet ﷺ, he said even regarding his praise, he says, إِيَّاكُمْ وَالْغُلُوبِ فَإِنَّمَا أَهْلَكَ مَنْ كَانَ قَبْلَكُمَ الْغُلُوبِ. He says, I warn you regarding being ghulu, being extreme. For indeed those who preceded you were destroyed because of their extremism. Also the Prophet ﷺ, when he heard a man praising him, saying, Anta Sayyiduna, Wabnu Sayyidina, you are our master, the son of our master. And he was praising him with things that are, yes, the Prophet, who is Sayyiduna? He is our Sayyid. But the Prophet ﷺ, he said, قُولُوا بِقَوْلِكُمْ أَوْ بِبَعْضِ قَوْلِكُمْ. Say what you have to say, or part of what you have to say. Meaning, do not be, يعني, لا تغلو. And in another narration, the Prophet says, لا تطروني كما أطرت النصارى ابن مريم. إنما أنا عبد فقولوا عبد الله ورسوله. Do not be extreme in my praise. For indeed I am Abdullah, I am the servant of Allah and His Messenger. Okay? Do not be extreme in my praise or in praising me, just like the Christians or the Nasara were extreme when they came to praising Isa ibn Maryam. Like, the next qaida or proof is احذر العقوق وأد الحقوق. Make sure you give the rights to those people who deserve their rights. Do not beware of cutting off ties of kinship in times of fitnah, and give the rights to those who deserve your rights. طيب. And the proof of this is the messenger, that a man came to the Messenger of Allah sallallahu alayhi wa sallam. He said, Ya Rasulullah, أرأيت إن كان علينا أمراء يسألوننا عن حقهم ويمنعوننا حقنا. O Messenger of Allah, what do you think of a situation where we have leaders or rulers that are ruling over us? They ask us to give them their huquq, their rights, and they refuse our rights. فَمَا تَأْمُرُنَا, what should we do, O Messenger of Allah? فَأَعْرَضَ عَنْهُ, so the Prophet turned away from him. فَسَأَلَهُ الثَّانِيَةِ, then the man asked him for the second time. فَأَعْرَضَ عَنْهُ, the Prophet sallallahu alayhi wa sallam turned away from him. فَسَأَلَهُ الثَّالِثَةِ, then the man asked him for a third time. فقال, the Prophet sallallahu alayhi wa sallam, he said, اسمعوا وأطيعوا فإنما عليهم ما حملوا وعليكم ما حملتم. Listen and obey, for indeed it is upon them, their responsibilities are upon them, and your responsibilities are upon you. This is what the Prophet didn't say, go and revolt, go and backbite them upon the minbar, go and do this. He said, اسمعوا وأطيعوا, listen and obey. That's it. What do the Khawarij say about this hadith? They have no answer to these hadith. إِنَّمَا يَتَّبِعُونَ أَهْوَاءَهُمْ لِأَنَّهُمْ أَهْلُ هَوَى. They follow their ahwa, their desires and their whims. Ikhwani fillah, sentiment, emotions are not part of this religion. Meaning that if your emotions contradict the Quran and the Sunnah, then your emotions have no place. We do not judge upon emotions and intellect, but we judge upon قال الله وقال رسوله صلى الله عليه وسلم. طيب. And the Prophet صلى الله عليه وسلم says, أَدِّ الْأَمَانَةَ إِلَى مَنِ ائْتَمَنَتْ وَلَا تَخُنْ مَنْ خَانَكَ. Give the amana, the responsibilities to those people who have entrusted you with them. وَلَا تَخُنْ مَنْ خَانَكَ. And do not betray the one who betrays you. Just because the DWP, for example, the Department of Work and Pensions have taken some money from you that they owe to you, doesn't mean that the next time you deal with them, you fabricate some lies and you say, khalas, I have a back pain, or I have this, I have that, I'm going to try and con them just like they've conned me, because they're kuffar anyway, they're not Muslims anyway, so I can con them, their mal is halal for me. Wallahi no, kadabta, you're lying. This is a shubha min shubhati shaitan. Their wealth, ikhwani fillah, is not halal for you. The wealth of another human being is sacred, regardless of whether that human being is a Muslim or a munafiq, or whether he's a Jew or a Christian or a Sikh, it doesn't matter. You cannot lie to another human being. Lying is haram. These are universal laws, ikhwan. So as a Muslim, we have to set the best of examples, ikhwan. We have to set the best of examples when we're dealing, especially in bay' or shara, in buying and selling, when we're dealing with other people from other religions. Because when we deal with them in bay' or shara, in buying and selling, we are we are like ambassadors for our religion, for our deen. And because of our integrity and honesty, we may be a cause for them to enter into Islam. They will hold the companions, Ridwanullah ta'ala alayhim, And this is something that the mustashriqun do not want you to know. The companions and the tabi'un, they entered and they caused nations and to accept Islam because of their integrity, because of how they dealt, because of their honesty, because of their principles and values that are only found in Islam. It is wallahi aib, ikhwani fillah, that you see a non-Muslim who has some principles and values, and you see a Muslim who has no principles and values, and who will claim, who will do things that are impermissible, like credit card fraud, for example, like going and stealing people's identity, and then phoning them, thinking and trying to mask their identity, and conning them of their hard-earned wealth, subhanAllah. Aina tadhab, where are you going to go? Okay, you've earned £8,000 or £10,000 from that miskin. On Yawm al-Qiyamah, what will you do? What will you say to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala? When just before you enter Jannah, or you are obstructed and you cannot enter Jannah because of that deception that you have done, and because of that dhulm and oppression that you have caused on Yawm al-Qiyamah. And imagine if that Muslim, if that person was someone who was going to use this wealth to go to Hajj, and because of your fraud, because of what you have done, they can no longer worship Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Imagine if that person was to go and do Qiyamul Layl and wake up in the the third portion of the night, raise his hands and he says, Allahumma alayka bihi, Allahumma alayka bihi, oh Allah, punish that person, oh Allah, punish that person. Where are you going to go min da'wat al-mazlum? Aina ta'ish, which ard and which earth is going to bear your weight? Which heaven and which sky is going to be your roof when the anger of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala descends upon you, when the la'na of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, the curse of Allah descends upon you? Yes, you may be happy for a moment in this life. You may be happy for a few months, a few years. You may live a rich life. You may purchase the latest car. But then at the end of the day, antal khasir. You're the one who is upon khasar, ikhwan fillah. And as Muslims, ikhwan fillah, we have to be very, very wary when it comes to issues pertaining to wealth. Shaykh Abdul Muhsin al-Abbad, rahimahullah ta'ala, he used to say, I used to hear him say, regarding al-halal wal-haram, he says, some people, they think that halal, al-halal ma halla fil yad, wal-haram ma lam tasil ilayhi al-yad. Some people, they think that halal is anything that their hands possess. As long as they've earned it with their wealth, it's halal. This is their measurement of what's halal. And haram is what their hands have not reached. طيب. Inshallah ta'ala نقف عند هذا الحد. There are other principles inshallah, but because of time limitations we'll stop here inshallah ta'ala. وصلى الله وسلم على نبينا محمد وعلى آله وصحبه أجمعين.
الله أكبر الله